Welcome to Emilia. Welcome to round six. Welcome to Silver for a lovely afternoon here in the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And this is going to be a scene of penalties potentially, safety cars, maybe. We didn't have any last night, but drama, absolutely. This is going to be another tough event in Silver tonight then, like it has been for the first 5 Grand Prix. Whilst there's no one out on circuit, let me quickly go through the drivers and the constructors standards. Delando leads by 4 points from Kian, who's in second position. He still doesn't win a Grand Prix yet, Kian has now, but he's been very consistent. Apart from that, the only blocked on his coffee book is of course that issue in Miami. Then we got Nameless in third position. Jay Hings is fourth, 22 points back. Jay Hings is at the moment then, but still using that consistency very nicely indeed. R2B is now dropped down to fifth after a stellar start to the season, but a bit struggling a bit. Kiki on 28 points. Flippy, who is the new Kick Sauber driver, the first driver out on circuit as well in the background, getting promoted. He's already in 10th position in the driver standards after scoring 24 points and two fourth place finishes in the last 2 Grand Prix. Cameron in 8th position. 9th is Nigel with Vessier in 10th position. That is the top 10 in the silver standards. In the constructors, Red Bull lead 13 points in front of Aston Martin in second position. Third position is the Alpine, 18 points overdrift of Aston Martin. McLaren Mercedes are much better than what they're doing in gold at the moment on 48 points. 28 points there for the Mercedes-Benz AMG Petronas. 6 is the Williams Mercedes and on 27 points, 1 point away from the Mercedes. Ferrari 10 points away from the Willie. And then we've got Kick Sauber is on the screen now, and I think they'll be very happy to have Flippy drive in that second car, along with Marsky then, who's had a difficult start to this season then. And then we've got RB in 9th position on 1 point, and Haas in 10th position. And once again, Haas have only got one driver eligible for points then, as for a second time in 3 races, we're going to have the Duke. My goodness me, look at that traffic jam down into the first chicane. My goodness me, and there's a Red Bull Undertaker face of action here. Golly gosh! That's not ideal for Flippy to start off his full-time career in ALR Silver. Goodness gracious me! And now he's now got his teammate behind in front of him. Oh, and the two Kick Saubers have come together. And oh dear! And I have to say that Marsky may be in a bit of bother with that. And unfortunately, as the cardinal sin of driving into your teammate is not ideal on your debut as well. That's not ideal. But however, for Flippy, I don't think that was his fault. Yes, he was the car behind, but I do think that Marsky potentially should have got out of the way there. But look at this, and it's an absolute, it's anarchy out there at the moment. Of course, we only have this is only one qualifying session, so you've got to get your time in before the 14 minutes expires on the top left-hand corner of the screen. But Flippy is going to probably be flipping his lid then potentially. Or to be it's turn 1, but it's gone very wide, and also very much car at the limit of the car at the limit there. Flippy has gone out fastest there, albeit at that time it's not representative. But Vessier has gone wide there. Unfortunately, the car got a bit lazy on the exit there, and because of that, unfortunately, that is Vessier's time done and dusted. Kiki, one of the quickest men pound for pound in the on the grid there. He's got a lovely snoocher of the car in front. I don't know who that car is then, but Kiki has gone fastest, and that's the first representative time on the board then. My word then, we've had a dramatic start here in qualifying. I didn't even get a chance to welcome Flippy into the action because he was already in the action there. Flippy was, of course, Flippy also a pole setter as well. He got pole position last time out in Portugal. So he is very much a major player in this championship, I think, for the remainder of the season. Yes, he is 10 points behind the championship leaders, but I feel that this championship is going to be tight, and there's also going to be a lot of drama and intrigue to come then. However, the only downside for Flippy is there's only 11 rounds to go after this event now, as Duke has gone third fastest. R2B has just gone into fourth fastest there in the Haas and Aston Martins respectively there. Retrospectively? That's not right, is it? Because it's happening here and now, isn't it? Reflections there. Looks like he's harvested now. Marsky's invalidated his time. Here's Justify in the RB. Justify coming across the line now as he goes 6 fastest there. Good stuff indeed there for Justify. Metron just goes, starts his up. Gordo starting his 136th Grand Prix, I think, tonight. Was that far? I've read one of them are. I just couldn't remember who. Nigel then just attacking Oh, it's getting a bit squirrely on the rear. Hello to Knowlesy. Good evening to Rocket Lee as well. Hello to everyone out there. And thank you very much, by the way, as we have got an extra 3 subscribers since I last looked, which is fantastic stuff indeed. That is the magical. What are we aiming for? The magical 700 mark, hopefully by the end of the year. And if not, I might have to ask Serious Mushroom to get some fake accounts on the go. Nigel's invalidated his time and is back into the garage, unfortunately. That's not ideal. Flippy has also come back in the pits as well. If you just joined us, hello. I think that if you just joined us as well, you've probably missed a lot of action out there because of all the issues that has happened with the Kick Sauber team. Flippy went to the back of Marcy coming into Toza, and unfortunately because of that, have I got my sound on? It's gotten very quiet. Have I got the TV on mute is actually more the question. I think I have actually. Shocking. There we go. Goodness gracious me. But of course the Kick Sauber's coming to blows in Toza. Not ideal at all, unfortunately for the Kick Saubers. Gordo, 136. Wow, let me just check that, Gordo. Yeah, actually it's 137 for you, Gordo. Incredible start tonight. Far from 126, so far it's only 10 behind you, Gordo. Gordo's gone at 14 fast as well, which I'm not, of course, Gordo hopefully will not be replied to me whilst he's on circuit. Well, on a lap then, yellow flag dead. Yellow flags are not going to be too concerning in qualifying, but this is an old school narrow circuit. Of course, we start off with a bit of a somber note, of course, last night in Gold then, but with, of course, the... Well, Gordo, goodness gracious me, and he's almost done a Lewis Hamilton there, but unlike Hamilton, he's got out of the gravel. And hopefully Hamilton doesn't do that in Emilia in 2025. Imolia's on the calendar in 2025, isn't it? Goodness me. Well, to be honest, hopefully what's on your calendars is tomorrow night with the F1 75 live show then, which I think it was Favre who's only just realised that it's on tomorrow, as he just put it into the admin chat about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, I'm certainly a bit short. Here's Riley then into Toza. But yes, of course, where the liveries are being launched, and even though Haas have already kind of launched their livery, of course, there is some spy shots at Silverstone yesterday. I like the Haas, I think I do like the Haas, it's very nice indeed. I hope you're doing well, Sean. I'm always doing well, Rocket Lee. I hope you're doing well, my good sir. And looking forward to, I would say seeing you tomorrow night, but let's be honest about it. I'll probably be near the back and you'll be at the front. So, yeah. So I don't really see Rocket Lee much in races, to be fair. Riley attacking those curves. Beautifully done indeed there. Good luck, Silver, says Smith, the Almighty. I'm on it, Sean. Good stuff indeed, Sir Smasher. We'll send you the money. We'll send you the money from Fast Bank account. So it'll be coming your way fairly soon then. Riley up to the start-finish line now. F175 is on whilst we're racing. Riley, it is, isn't it? I might have it on the background, to be honest, or I might just put it on pause, to be honest, and then watch it afterwards. I do admit, especially on at 7 fastest, don't get me wrong, we all know what it's about, don't we? We all know that there's going to be a lot of corporate jazz and all that kind of stuff. Sadly, you have to kind of pull up with that in these live launches and all that kind of stuff, as Liam has gone onto the circuit, a part of the circuit we do not rent, unfortunately, there for Liam. So, unfortunately, he's been slapped with a lap invalidation there and a track violation there, unfortunately, for Liam. So, Liam, unfortunately, is going to have another bite of the cherry in the Mercedes, and that happened quite late on into the lap, so he hasn't got much battery to get going. Kiki coming fast on, and Vestia is moved himself up to 7th on it. What about Mr. Raging Bull? Currently length in the second Mercedes at this moment in time. Watch out for Penn's chicken soupy thingy then. We'll try my best, Mushroom. Aha. Evening Mushroom then. I love him. It's such a great track. Evening Rocket as well. It is a beautiful track to drive on. I must admit, I'm not a fan to race on it. As anyone who is long-time viewers or seen my struggles in 100% last year, which I think that Knowles, he luckily didn't see most of my spinning, but he did see me recovering. So in theory, for all you guys know, and all you guys and girls that have been watching know, that actually it wasn't me. It was a problem with the car. There was technical gremlins on the McLaren, as we have seen in silver this season, and we have seen in bronze as well, that the McLaren is a very difficult car to drive, and Serious Mushroom will absolutely agree with me on that one. after after we only finished 6th in the constructors last season, 100% when we was obviously the best team. By the way, I said that tongue in cheek. Of course, Serious Mushroom is a multiple Grand Prix winner. Serious Mushroom has won in every category that he's participated in, apart from 100%. And technically gold, then, but gold really doesn't count because it's Mr. Rage Good 5th fastest, good stuff indeed. Because Serious Mushroom has not raced full time in there. That's how I pull it anyway. And if anyone disagrees with me, yeah, put it into my suggestion box, which is usually in the trash. Reflection going 7th fastest. Reflection's had a very difficult start to silver this season, which I'm surprised because Reflections is very much a points collector, isn't he? I would want Reflections in my team if we was going for the Constructors' Championship. Jay Hings only 7th fastest at the moment for Jay Hings. He's 4th in the championship. Not too bad then as for Jay Hings in qualifying at the moment. As the Duke. I would like to see the Duke in full time, to be fair, but I don't think any of the other silver drivers would. But he's absolutely flying out there. 7 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Nameless is back up in the third mode. Metran only in 4th, I say only. Kian only in 5th as well, of course, the man who is 2nd in the World Championship then. Relax tonight, says Rocket Lee's. That's absolutely fantastic news. Kiki's gone faster by the massive margin of 1/100th of a second. Golly gosh. Kiki, of course, absolutely. Let's make no bones about it. Kiki, of course, with 7 pole positions in silver in 28 qualifying attempts in his career in ALR. I think he's got the most pole positions out of anyone if you add all the divisions and championships and all that kind of jazz together. So he is certainly not a sleeper when it comes to qualifying. Race trim has not been too fruitful for Kiki, unfortunately. Metran goes into 3rd fastest at this moment in time then, but of course we've still got about 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Marsky in 11th position. Well, that's a decent time so far for Marsky. Of course, Marsky may have the wrath of the stewards, especially if Flippy doesn't get a good time on the board. Of course, and unfortunately, as Delando almost into the back of one of the Haas cars coming into the pits, and Delando goes 6th fastest. I think that might have impeded Delando as well. Goodness me, I'm pointing fingers tonight. Oh, no, goodness gracious me. Gordo, unfortunately, has invalidated Toza. Remember, Ferrari had a very good race last night. Toy Coin with his 2nd Grand Prix win of his career, and what a way to do it here in Ferrari's backyard. Fantastic for Toy Coin now. My goodness me, Sam Swift somehow finished 2nd, even with a 6-second penalty. Brilliant race indeed. I absolutely loved it. It was very much anything could have gone in that race there. It was brilliant indeed. That. Here we go, setups again, says Serious Mushroom. It was, to be fair, yes indeed, it was Serious Mushroom's dodgy setups that caused me to be so slow. But what is it this season, I hear all my critics say? It's Slayer's dodgy setups, and also any other setups that I've stolen over the years, so it cannot be me. I'm also allergic to lies as well. Here's Liam down into Tulsa and coming out of it there. But yes, I don't know. I wish I knew how to set up a car, but sadly I don't, to be fair. That's it. But to be fair, I'm kind of a paper F1 fan, to be fair. I'm more of a... I love the technical side of F1, but I must say I do not understand a lot of it. I just like cars go fast, really, and also like pretty cars as well, which is why I was a big fan of the Force India when they had the BWT sponsorship as well. I also got a soft spot for the Onyx team back in 89 and 90, but unfortunately, a lot like those teams back in the early 90s, they had a couple of owners, or an owner that was not a nice fellow. I'm sure that was that Andrea Moda. I'm not too sure about that. Andrea Moda, of course, got I think what's his name, Moda Sassetti Moda or something like that. But yeah, of course, I think he was thrown in jail or something like that, wasn't it? Or something like that. And then his cars got impounded in Belgium. Goodness me. I love the story of Andrea Moda. I need to rewatch the YouTube series. Justify, unfortunately, a lazy, it looks like that was just a bit of understeer there on the car. The car just drifting out very lazily there, unfortunately. Last week was horrible for me. Wanted to do pit and quit, but stuck out for 14th there. And that's one of the big things about bronze is, of course, bronze points does go down to 15th in the standard sound, which is good for me, which is obviously why I asked for that rule. Also because it also encourages people to carry on as well, which is good stuff. The problem is I have to really think about when it comes to actually doing the stand-ins, which really is not good things to do on a Thursday night then. As just watching Flippy then, who has not got that time of a 21.9 is not representative because he had a collision with his teammate. His teammate down in 12th position at the moment now. Both kick salvers are on roughly the opposite end of the circuit at the moment now. Want Marsky to get some decent points tonight? No, Kerr said. Got a cheerful Liam too. He's from Derby, the same as me. Oh, Serious Mushroom from Derby, is he? Goodness gracious me. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of legends from Derby, I think, like David Nugent, but the man who scored one goal in one game, I think, for England, which is very cool stuff indeed. I don't even know if Nugent's actually from Derby, to be honest, but I remember him playing for Derby. He also played for Portsmouth as well, didn't he? But I must admit, I don't really know much from Derby, to be fair, apart from actually no, let's not do that story for now. Of course, we are not out of the watershed yet. Let's carry on then. Right, Flippy coming out of the final turn then. Let's get going, shall we? As I am waffling on, and we are here for racing, not for my life story. Across the line there comes Flippy to start us up now. Of course, this configuration of circuit has been raced on since 2020 now. Of course, I must admit I do miss the final chicane, mainly because on the ODF1 games, Flippy's invalidated again. Last week's pole sitter, of course, his first week with the Salver team, and my goodness gracious me, and it's been a horror show 18 minutes or so for the kick salver. There's yellow. Oh my goodness gracious me, cars coming out on the circuit. Surely that's a distraction there for Marsky, but Marsky is very much rigging the neck of the thing then into the first series of, there's a car off the circuit as well. Old school circuit this is. There's a lot of gravel traps. I have a feeling that Smithy might be Mr. Rage is invalidating his time now. I think the Smithy's going to be inundated with a lot of drivers very unhappy with how this qualifying has transpired because of traffic all over the show, isn't there? I can't remember the traffic being this bad last night, but I have slept since then. No, we're here for your story, Sean. I'm glad you are, Rocket Lee. I don't think anyone else is. Marsky at the top of the hill now as well. I'm a legend. I'm from Derby, jeez. So Serious Mushroom. To be fair, Serious Mushroom, you are a legend, and you are from Derby. As we go down the hill as well. I think Derby, the one thing I remember about Derby is that haven't they got the worst points haul in Premier League history? Back in the 07-08 season, and they had a bit of a funky kit as well. I didn't like their Adidas kit. Marsky across the line, only a 10th of a second down actually, unfortunately for Marsky. That is him done and dusted in this qualifying session now. Justify has not come back out of the pits. Kiki has come out is that Marsky doing my line now, which I'm hoping to do tomorrow night, and hopefully Farf is going to take the rules off tomorrow night, which will be fantastic. Gordo is at the top of the hill, goodness me. Gordo came in play, which is exactly what he needs to do. Someone jumped up the order. Who was up? That's Reflections. Only improving by less than a 10th of a second there. I don't think the track evolution out here is. Just I say that, Metron puts me in my place, puts me in my corner, and it's on pole position. Kian has gone to full fastness on the second row of the grid. And of course, we remember the run down into turn one there. Max Verstappen there took the lead in 2021 there from third on the grid there. And Kian there is fourth and won't be able to do the same. And Vesser's got 12 fastest. R2 beats 11 then. That's him done and dusted. Justify is 15th now because Gordo has moved himself over the 14th. Gordo struggling with this season then. What's going on for Gordo? We have also got Jay Hings moved himself up into 6th position, right directly behind his teammate, flipping pole position in the dying emblems of qualifying here. And flipping course for his second pole position of his season there. Wow, incredible stuff indeed. What about Kiki? Kiki's invalidated. That's a huge development in this qualifying session. Nameless has gone into 5th fastest there as well. Reflections has finished his time run then. What about Liam? Liam there is invalidated. Farf is also invalidated as well. Farf will be 20th on the grid. Irvine's also invalidated. That's the danger of coming out of the pits so late on then. Flippy, two-time pole sitter in silver after what has been a very challenging opening stages to this qualifying session. Now, goodness gracious me, I've just thrown my pen miles. But it is Flippy Pole position number 2 in 5 qualifying attempts. Goodness me, that is just under pole position every 50% now. That's a fantastic start then to Filippi's career in Sauber, albeit it was a bit of a bumpy one at first. And of course, there's going to be a lot of chatter, I feel, about the issue between himself and Marsky, or am I making a mountain out of a molehill potentially, because of course at the end of the day, Filippi is still on pole position there, isn't he? Invalidated a 14-9, annoying there. Yes, Derby are rubbish. The whole city is a serious question there. Oh, goodness me. I've never been to Derby, I don't think. I say I don't think because, yeah. Because I must admit, I think I went to Leeds once. Flipping pole position by 7,400 a second now from Metran, who was second there. Metran there took pole position with just not too long to go. Kiki in third position then, invalidated his final time. The Duke in fourth, good stuff with Nameless in fifth, Kian in sixth, Jay Hinks seventh, Riley eighth, Raging Ball in ninth, and Delando, of course, who is the championship leader, down in 10th position. Golly gosh! Welcome back, everyone. And the drivers are on the grid now, preparing themselves for the start of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. This is round number 6 of the championship. The championship at the moment is everything's up to play for in the championship. Then, as we got the formation lap first, then we'll just take a look at the tyre strategy. And everyone, just like last night, almost like last night actually, is on the medium tyres. Apart from Flippy, the pole sitter has gone hard. Interested. Didn't work out too well for the hard shot Keza last night. And Farp has also gone hard as well. Goodness gracious me. Delando down in 10th position, 4 points in front of Kian, who is only starting 6 on the grid. Goodness me. Nameless, who is third in the championship, 6 points back, is currently in 5th. Championship protagonist there, not at the front of the grid then. Jay Hings is also in 10th position there. He is he is 4th in the championship. Flippy, who is 7th in the championship, 47 points away from Delando at this moment in time, is now on pole position then. It's pronounced Mayranov. It's not like I've been commentating on Mayranov since, I don't know, for almost like what? Almost like umpteen weeks now. Flippy pole position then. Mayranov in the 2nd position. Hang on, is Serious Russian giving me, taking the mick out of me? Probably. Kiki in 3rd position, 4th is the Duke, 5th is Nameless, 6th position is Kian, 7th position is Jay Hings with Riley 8th, Mr. Raging Ball in 9th, and Delando, the championship leader, down in 10th position. Now that's in the carbon fibre zone. 11th position is Reflections with R2 Beat in 12th position. Vessier in 13th position. Nigel, first ever ALR champion, down in 14th position. And Marsky, runner-up in bronze last season, only 15th, and potentially having a war of words with his teammate there. Serious Russian, no, honestly, thank goodness for that. Gordo in 16th, Justify in 17th. Liam didn't get a time on the board, nor this far, and I thought he was in the wall already. Of course, Alan Prost there spun. Was it 91 where he spun this Ferrari when we had a deluge, or was it 1990? But of course, far from the Williams, Alan Prost in the Ferrari for the next couple of years before he went to the Williams team in 1993, which is the most useless information you're going to hear today. Irvine, 20th and last on the grid then. Ferrari have got their work to cut out then, of course. Ferrari and Gold have been very good then, with Toy Coin winning the race last last night that the Tifosi expects, but unfortunately, one Ferrari's in 16th and has been disqualified for being in the pit box a bit wrong, and Irvine down in 20th position. 5 sets of lights are on here in the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, and they have been released, and here we go then. Is it going to be a drag run down into turn 1, and Flippy then has done a good start actually. Oh my goodness me, and the top 3 cars have come together, and oh my goodness gracious me, and that is an appalling start, and goodness me, they haven't even got to turn 1. Kian's got a 10-second penalty. Mayranov and Flippy, very similar to Singapore back in 2017. Only difference is that the little difference is it's not raining and we're not in Singapore either. I think it's actually Mayranov, to be precise, and says Serious Mushroom. Kian's got a 10-second penalty. That is not ideal. And unfortunately, we got the biggest losers, Flippy and Mayranov, all the way down in 19th and 20th position there. That is a horror show. No wing then for Mayranov then, and also Flippy has got damage as well. We've got a VSC. There's no full safety car, just like last night. As a goodness gracious, it doesn't matter now. He's gone off, yes. We're back racing. That has been perfect for Nameless. Nameless only 6 points away, direct on the championship lead moments. Nameless leads. Kiki in second position there. 3-second penalty already for Liam. And then we have got Duke coming in third position. Kian is in fourth position, but he has that penalty. Love the helmet. I love it. Jay Hings in fifth position there. Riley is in sixth then. Everyone has moved up in position then after the horror show start then. Mayranov and Flippy coming in the pits then. That's a horror show. Flippy's not coming in the pits yet then. As we haven't got DRS yet, we'll have DRS there for the remaining 31 laps or so, unless there's a safety car, of course. As Flippy has stayed on Gordo and Marsky side by side. Marsky and Gordo on the outside, got the inside position there, Tamburello, and Marsky's down into 14th position there. A Nameless leads and coming out of Toza as they power up the hill then, and I've got to say, we was talking about controversy in qualifying between Flippy and his team. Well, there's going to be controversy in the race as well, as unfortunately for Flippy, down in a 19th position there, as we've also got the Mercedes of Liam dropping down the order as well, as Irvine's made his way through. Look at this, Kiki all over the gearbox. Kiki has not really set the world on fire so far this season, but the Duke is also all over the gearbox there. And look at Nameless, he's already harvesting. Farfet's got a 3-second penalty. It's going to be a long afternoon for Farfet, unfortunately, if he's going to get penalties there. And it doesn't look good for us admins, does it? Because unfortunately, I think that me and Smithy could also be getting a lot of penalties tomorrow as well. But Smithy's probably shouting at the screen now, speak for yourself, Ginger. Out of the final turn. And now we're going to get DRS's. Oh, Kian there getting a bit squirrely on the old rear posterior. We do not know what that... We know that the 10-second penalty was for a severe collision with Kiki. Kiki going for the lead then. Where's Duke? Duke's on the outside. Duke's on the outside. He's got up the racing line to turn 1, but Kiki's got the inside line. Track position takes the lead of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And now, can he get out of DRS? And that is the next question at the moment. It's going to be difficult, I would say. There's only one DRS zone around here, and there's only one major overtaking opportunity. Everywhere else then is as after you, sire. Up the hill then from Toza. Kiki now leads then by 0.4 of a second. Kiki's going to try and rocket his way then out of this DRS. And of course, last night it was so difficult, wasn't it? And the Duke then, who is now all over the gearbox of Nameless. I'm not going to say his name, but the guy in the second position did well here on Friday. Now P1 says Serious Mushroom there. Of course, we all know what happens when Serious Mushroom says anyone's name said, which is what happened with Mayranov as well. So we're all pointing the finger at Serious Mushroom, sadly for the turn 1 incident then. Lap 3 out of 32 here as down into the final part of the sector as well. Goodness me, I'd love to live in one of those houses there, wouldn't it? It's absolutely prime position there to watch the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And I think that the Imola Cat then, I don't think the Imola Cat was around here, was it, in last season's Grand Prix, which is such a shame then. So of course, as the cat was always seemed to be in the pen, wasn't it, after the race there? At the moment, though, it's all status quo into turn 1 then. Kian, followed by Jay Hings, followed by Riley. Then we got Mr. Rage, then we got Dilando, followed by Reflection, Vessier in 10th position. R2B is in 11th. Riley is sniffing all over the gearbox of Jay Hing's head. And look at the understeer there. Goodness me, that's very real, the understeer into the Villeneuve chicane there. Of course, named after the legendary Gilles Villeneuve, not Jacques Villeneuve. But then again, there's never always Jacques Villeneuve either. Unless you listen to his music, of course, which I'd say has got a lot to be desired. Oh, I love this shot then. Lovely over-the-shoulder shot here from Riley. I wish you could choose somewhat more on-board cameras then. Look at this conga line form now where Kiki has a half a second while he's getting pulling away. In the second sector, Kiki is quite quick here, isn't he? As he's gaining another couple of tenths of a second as well. But the Nameless starts to home back in there. And Mr. Rachel Ball penalty as well. I'm going to be honest, you should just put me on rewind with the penalties that we're going to be talking about all throughout tonight then. And in tomorrow as well, that Knowlesy is surely prepared that line as well. It could be 3, 6, 9, 12. I think that is going to be a major factor in this race. I think I read it last night actually from one of our contributors that we're going to pretend it's going to be lack of penalties will win this race then, or will very certainly be high up the order down into turn 1 then. Duke is just a bit too far back then. It's very overcast out there at the moment. I haven't heard of any rain on the forecast there, but then again, I do love. I love it. I do love when there's a bit of rain in the air. Of course, not when I'm driving. Of course, Jacques All driver 1. Then Williams number 1. Wasn't he called like Newhouse as well? Wasn't he in one of the other games as well? Wasn't he? Of course, Jacques Villeneuve wasn't licensed on the F1 game, so I think he was called Williams number 1 or Williams driver 1 or something like that in 97 and 98 games then. And I'm sure on some of the other games he was called, as Gordo has dropped down into 50th position there. Farfus made his way to the 14th on those hard tyres there. Of course, the other driver on hard tyres is Flippy. So sadly, again, just like last night, the hard tyres is not the ideal race tyre. Liam's got another penalty out there. Those penalties are going to be like a cricket score by the end of this one. Oh dear. As what's happened there, there's yellow flags. I'm not sure if it's Gordo in the facility, but Gordo is struggling. Liam's got more penalties, unfortunately. Struggling potential. I think that Liam may have issues with the car setup in that second Mercedes. As now then DRS is available, but look at that then. Once again, the DRS says, whoa, Duke, they're doing the old switcheroo. And look at this, it's gaining. The Nameless has made contact with the Duke. And I think the Duke is going to be asking, why didn't Nameless give him more space on the outside into Tamburello? And I feel that Nameless is going to be like, that's a hard race in there potentially. But of course, Duke is not in the championship battle in silver. He's a reserve driver, and then we would love to see him in full-time driver. Well, I certainly would as a spectator, not as a competitor. As yellow flags, it's always justified off the circuit there out to the Villeneuve chicane. I think that was where the legendary Yuji Ide's career finished after he tapped and rolled over. Was it Tiago Montero or was it Christian Albers in the 2006 San Marino Grand Prix? I can't remember now. But Justify and May ran off, unfortunately, all the way down at the back of the field there. Sure, he was called. I'll leave it that. I'll leave out there then. So as much of that. To be honest, there's a lot of names for Jacques Villeneuve. It's there. Yellow flag again, and it's again for Justify. Justify is having issues. Liam's got another penalty. Liam's going to be careful. We had a disqualification last night. Kiki's almost out of DRS range here. This is a very impressive performance there from Kiki. Of course, Kiki has struggled this season. Here comes the Duke again. But unfortunately, that straight is not long enough, believe it or not. Kiki have only one Grand Prix win to his name in silver, which is quite shocking there for a driver of his talent and caliber. But of course, we've still got a long way to go. There's still going to be pit stops. There could be safety cars, which I'm surprised that we didn't have a safety car last night, mainly after that horrific incident out of going down into turn 1 then between, I think it was Menace and Kaz. And we also had a humongous shunt off the race off the start as well, and no safety car there either. So only VSC's out there at the moment there. So Smithy Almighty is not feeling the need then to bring a safety car. Oh, the Duke there, that's red-handed as well for the Haas car. And of course, that is the problem there. You get a lot of penalties here as well for just running wide. Justify's got a penalty as well. A lot of frustration probably in that RB. And I'm going to be honest, Justify, I'll be feeling the same frustration tomorrow night as well. I can assure you that then. So the RBs may not be feeling too good after this round in the joint constructors. Anyway, Farfus race open 12th position. So Farfus trying to make those hard tyres work. Didn't work very well for Keza last night. Dropped all the way down the order, did Keza. Whether that was down to tyre temperature or just a bad start, we don't really know. But here tonight, then, now here comes Keane. He's having a sniff at the turn one there, and he has gone for it. And Duke has been forced off the circuit, and that's also meant that Jay Hings is through, so Duke's off again. Oh my word! Then, and sadly, the Duke has been roughed up there, hasn't he, by Keane, Hings, Riley, and Mr. Raging Bull, and they're all through. Look, the gap at the front is over a second now. Can Keane? This is crucial. Keane needs to get it back under a second, I feel, at this stage, and otherwise he could be lost then into the abyss. That's a bit extreme then, but you get the cut on my jib, I'm sure. Even though I don't know what a jib is, to be fair. But look at this. Now Kiki was almost out of DRS range a few laps ago. Now Nameless and is all over the gearbox. He's all over that McLaren like a bad suit. Reflections has lost out here as Vessier has stuck his way up into 9th position there. Farf doing a great job actually there. Good stuff indeed though. You know we don't like to praise Farf on this channel normally, but you gotta give some plaudits where plaudits is due and all that kind of stuff. But so far, doing a great job at the moment there. But hopefully, he doesn't get driver of the day. Tommy Morrison, the Duke, says Serious Russia. As into the pits does come the Duke now. And one of those damage. Nameless leads the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix into 2-1. Jay Hings has passed them, the man who's second the World Championship. But of course, that is because there is no DRS there for Kian there, is it? And that is a major factor. So Duke is now on the hard tyres. I don't think there's any damage there because the tyres and the pit stop has already finished there for Duke. He's coming out of the pits now. He's going to get out in front and Justify. No, he's not, but he's all well out in front of Metranov, who's unfortunately all the way down the order. On board Kian, and of course that 10-second penalty. I gotta say that is going to be painful, isn't it? As we're just taking a look at the penalties on the left-hand side tower, that penalty all came about when Kian and Kiki came to blows then, but we do not know. We did not see it on the live feed then. Unfortunately, we was watching what was going on at the back there. That 10-second penalty, I'm wondering if that came about when Kian went into the back of Kiki and slowed down. I had to slow down when the VSC was out potentially there, but I do feel that might have been a bit unjust then. And just as look at them, they've all started to bunch up again now, haven't they? It seems like you get out of DRS momentarily, and then all of a sudden you're back in DRS, and it's potentially because you probably use a lot of ERS, don't you? ERS management around here is going to be a crucial part. R2B, the race leader, the race winner from earlier on in the season, and it's in the pits. Flippy has made over the 14th position there. It's about 6 seconds adrift, sadly, is Flippy, our pole sitter. 2 races around now that Flippy's been on pole position, and as it stands, he's not going to win this race either, unfortunately, then after issues not even going out to turn 1 there, as Liam is out of the Grand Prix, sadly. Here comes Duke now, and Duke is going to get past Justifying up into 16th position. There he goes. And there in the background is R2B then. So R2B also coming out of the pits as well. Nigel is off the circuit, and that's an issue coming out of Toza. Now, goodness me, that's a long way out of Toza as well then. And there is don't think it's a full course caution here then. I don't think there's safety cars or VSCs out there, but the debris will be cleared by the spectacular Italian marshals. Keane's got a 3-second penalty. The penalties was going to be up to 13, but Keane has to stop on his marks and wait 10 seconds before, as Justify has lost his front wing there. Oh dear, that's not good at all for the RB, and his teammate is now right behind him as well. Goodness gracious me. Is anyone coming to the pits? Yes, who's out in the pits? That's Riley in the pits there for the Alpine. Here comes Kiki to retake the lead on lap 11 out of 32 here. There he goes. Nameless now in second position. Yellow flags then. I think it's the RB's just swapping position there at the back end of the circuit. Kiki retakes the lead then. Flippy is now up to 10th position there. Great recovery from Flippy, but however, I do feel that Flippy is probably hoping. Nigel, that's a VSC there because Nigel's had an issue. Is that coming into the pits though? Something's gone majorly wrong for Nigel there. His car is wallop. His car, by the looks of it, that's a safety car. Why? That's a safety car because we've got Bert Mylander. There he is. He's on the entry into Tamburello. Nigel out of the race. We do not know what happened. I think he crashed around here, Nigel did then. Whether that was in the pits or not, I do not know. But Nigel out of the race. Liam out of the race as well. Justify in the pits there. And this is, now who's this going to help and hinder? This is going to help Mayranov potentially get himself back into the race. It's also going to help Flippy as well. This is definitely going to help Justify, who's had a very difficult start to the Grand Prix. May run off coming out of the pits now. So I would say that everyone is going to come in the pits now. What about the hard runners of Farf, of Flippy? Are they going to come in the pits as well, or are they going to stay out there? And this is going to be a very interesting development in this Grand Prix at the moment, and I have no idea what's going to happen. Yeah, it's a no-brainer, I think, as they're all going to be in the pits. As I think the 2 Red Bulls. Where's the second Red Bull? Kian's already been in the pits. Goodness gracious me there. I missed that completely. So, yeah, Kian's already in the pits. Here's the race leader. Neighbours in the pits. I changed onto the hard compound tyres. Nope, Keychains the race leader. I apologise. He's coming out the pits now. Is anyone else? And everyone is in the pits, including the hard shot Farf. As Vessier's into 6th position there. Reflections, Vessier 6, Reflections 7, Marsh up to 8, Farf into 9th position, new nose cone there for the pole sitter. And yes, my word then, we have got some big movers here. Duke is now into 8th position there. Look at them all as that conga lining up then. Marsky's in 10th position. Love the shot here from the rear diffuser. Oh, that is spectacular. Was that from the rear wing? Whatever the case is, that's a beautiful shot. Farf in 11th position. R2B is now in 12th position. Kian, that is a harsh 10-second penalty. Just as safety car came out to the lap after. Down in 30th position. Irvine 14th. Gordo is in 15th. Flippy is in 16th. With Met run up in 17th. And Justify in 18th position. And there's Bert Mylander as out now. He's out of the garage now then. So I don't know where he was yesterday, but he's out here today. They should all pit on medium set. Next season should be a mandatory 2-stopper to try and shake things up. Farfan may run off. Will struggle, says Serious Russian, to get to the end of the race set. I quite like the 2-stopper. That should be pretty good indeed then. But of course, next season as well, we'll be on a new game as well. So hopefully the new game might also shake it up as well, because I do think that these boring mediums to hards or hards to medium strategy needs to be shaken up a bit anyway. I feel that the strategies are too predictable in Grand Prix racing at the moment there. Bring back refueling, is that what I heard someone saying? No, probably not actually, because a lot of overtakes did happen whereas in the pits, and then of course that's probably not what we want, don't want really, is it? But I do feel that maybe the strategies do need to have a curveball for F1 at 2025 when ALR goes on to season 13. Unlucky for some, hopefully not for us then. So it's not a VSC, by the way, if you just joined us. It is a safety car. Bert Mylander is out on circuit then. Smithfield Mighty deemed that the issue with Nigel was deemed to be a safety car. Not the first incident, but Nigel had a second incident on the pit straight, or we think it, or in the pit lane. But let's just say his orange dot was skewing across the track at this stage of the circuit here then. So unfortunately for Nigel, it's not gone at all well this season. And Nigel, of course, a legend in motorsport, but unfortunately at this moment in time then just really struggling, isn't he, with these types of cars. And you see a lot of drivers over the years, and likes of Farf, who was absolutely superb in the early stages of ALR as well. Of course, end of season 1, beginning of season 2, he had 3 Grand Prix wins in a row. Did Farf, and Troy, of course, absolute legend as well, and in season 8 of Gold, then doing a great job as well. Then, so I think that a lot of drivers have really struggled as the years have gone on with the evolution of Formula 1 car. Potentially, maybe that may be the case. And one driver who's been very much consistent for more often than not is actually Delando. Won bronze then, didn't he? Of course, all those many moons ago. Didn't fare so well in Gold last season there, but has really bounced back very nicely in silver. Of course, has finished in silver, I think, third. I think he's been runner-up as well in silver, hasn't he, a few times as well. Bring back manual pits where you can have, when you have to hit the button combos back in 2005 and 6. Absolutely. Yes, bring back manual pits. And also, what I would like to see as well is where you can drive into the pits on your own, and you have to stop on your marks on your own. Not this button bashing thing. You have to come into the pits on your own steam, and you have to hit the marks then. And if you overshoot or something like that, then of course the pit stop's going to be slower. It just makes it much more interesting, doesn't it, the pit stops and all that kind of stuff. But then again, that's maybe not for a Formula 1 game. And also you can turn it on and off. But maybe that's not for a Formula 1 game. That's maybe more for maybe iRacing or something like that. I don't know. I don't play iRacing, to be honest. I like to, but yeah, maybe too much then. I'll stick with Formula 1 Challenge. Safety car has finally been shown in the left-hand side, but unfortunately the safety car has come in for that graphic, but not unfortunately for us, as we are going to be racing again then. Out to the final turn and wins. Kiki going to drop the hammer. He's dropped it. He's gone with the wind is Kiki. And look at how then Kiki has made sure that Nameless is under pressure. Flippy has been Flippy's out of the race, and there's something gone wrong with the pole sitter, and there's going to be a lot of frustration for Flippy in his opening race there for the Sauber, because he's had issues with his teammate. And look on the outside, that's Besser, that's bold, that's brilliant, that is beautiful, and he is through and over to fifth place. That's a great manoeuvre there from Besser. Oh, but a lot of drivers got penalties there. Flippy the pole sitter out of the race there. Unfortunate for Flippy, but he had issues in qualifying, and now he had issues off the start line, and then we thought the sector car would have got him back into this one, but then unfortunately it's just gone all awry again. Favre's on the medium tyre, so he's going to have a tyre advantage at the moment, as is Mayron off down in 16th position. Favre over the gearbox, contact with the kick Sauber of Marsky, who I don't think has scored a point yet, has it? Serious Russia has been consistent throughout all the years since debuted back in season 3 of ALR. Of course, it was the first ever season of Silver, many moons ago there, but as he says, consistently. But Serious Russia has always turned up, which is very good stuff indeed. I thought Favre was going to have a sniff up the inside there, but no dice there from Favre. Across the line then, so Kiki leads, Nameless second, Jay Hings in third position now. We're coming to half distance of this very interesting, intriguing Grand Prix at the moment. There, no DRS just yet, they fly past me, and now here comes Favre on the outside into Tamburello. Whoa, Marsky, what a great defending there from Marsky. I didn't think he was going to slow the car down. That's great. Great bit of feel on the old brakes there from Marsky. Fantastic. And he stays in 10th position. Oh, Delando, what's happened? That's the championship leader off the circuit. Oh, my word, Delando, who's made his way through the field, but he's off in the field, no chicane, and all the way down to the back of the field. Oh, no, that is not ideal at all then. Flippy has just put a smiley emoji in the comments. I think, is that smiling with gritted teeth there? Or is he just happy to be out of the car? Potentially could be it could be both situations there, couldn't it? But Delando down in 17th position, the championship leader. This is not ideal there for Delando. And he's also got a 3-second penalty as well. There's frustration in that cockpit. Kia now is now up into 11th position again, past R2 Beat, and R2 Beat has also got Irvine for company as well in that Ferrari. Ferrari at 13th and 14th, well, and then of course keeping up with the hometown team here today, which is of course the Scuderia Ferrari here at Ferrari's backyard. Kikilo has not broken out of DRS range, which now means he's going to be looking over his shoulder. Here is Nameless and a two-time Grand Prix winner this season. Oh my goodness me, Kia Nameless almost onto the grass as they're going for the lead there. Kiki is getting his elbows out here, my golly gosh. The Kiki is not surrendering this race without a fight, is it? Goodness me. And was that gap go? Who's going to close that? Was Nameless justified to have a go? And was Kiki too robust there? Well, whatever the case may be. Of course, very similar to Montoya. Well, it's not really, is it? But I just remembered about Montoya and Schumacher in Tosa in 2004, where Schumacher ran Montoya out of road back in that race as well. So very similar there. Marsky wants that point, says Serious Mushroom. Marsky currently in 10th position. A great defending for Marsky. He is in 10th position there. Favre has got past him. Reflections. Jay Hings, Nameless and Kiki, the only 4 drivers in the top 10 that has no penalties on it. And then, of course, throughout the whole of the field, then, as goodness me, got a lot more penalties coming in. And in the whole of the field, we have only R2B with no penalties either then. So, goodness gracious me. There is a lot of penalties out there at the moment. Back on board with Nameless. And Nameless said, of course, was forced on the outside last time around then. So, Kiki has got to do that another 16 or 17 or 18 or maybe 14 times there. Kian set the pass out to the race. Now then, that's a much better run then, and Nameless takes the lead here in Emilia Romagna, passes Kiki and moves into the lead of this race. And but of course Kiki will have DRS next time around if he doesn't make a mistake. Then look at this DRS train all the way down to the back of the field, apart from Delando, who's 4 seconds back at the bottom there. We do not know what happened, but we see him in the gravel on the exit exited the Villeneuve chicane a few moments ago, and that is our championship leader as well. Vessier is driving out of his skin at the moment. This is one of his best races of the season thus far. Brilliant driving there from Vessier. Nameless, and followed by Kiki. J. Hings at the top of the hill. Then there is Vessier. There he is, and the Williams pair doing a good job today then. After, of course, I must say there's a lot of needle after Japan a few weeks ago, but looking much better now. Farfar's got a penalty, unfortunately. That'll be added to the end of his race time. Not just Farf, as we got umpteen other drivers as well, also, unfortunately, in the steward's book then. So Smithy Almighty may have to get his fingers and toes out at the end of this race to calculate where everyone is. Of course, then if the game, especially if the game crashes as well after last night. Morsky's lost out to Keenan, who's now up into 10th position. Keenan is trying to get a recovery try. But now these are the days where as Nameless has lost the lead then, as Key is back in the lead then. Here comes J. Hings as well on the inside, but not quite there. We got Vessier in full finish there. These are the days where championships come with won or lost, where you're having difficult days. Like Delando's having a difficult day, Kean's having a difficult day as well. Kean is currently back in the points, so we haven't checked the penalties for the time being. We will in just a jiffy, as a Mr. Ranger Ball pushing Vessier out of Toza, and this Mercedes got a longer drive. But I must say that you're not going to overtake anyone up there, I don't think. Unless you are unless you really are ballsy. But at the moment, I would say not at the moment there, as we're just about half distance in this Grand Prix. Vessier's flying out there, isn't he? I think the Vessier could potentially be sniffing out that podium. But however, the only downside for Vessier is now, then the court says, always a negative when I'm always chatting, and But one of the downside for Vessier is that he does have a penalty at this moment. The top three do not. But Red Bull has given J. Hings, serious bunch of pun intended. Nameless, just as I said that, Nameless has got a penalty. That is crucial in the outcome of this Grand Prix. And that means that Kiki could still finish second and still win this Grand Prix, because he will not have a 3-second penalty as it stands. And Nameless has also had a horror show of a lap there as well. He is still in DRS, which is the most crucial part of this race at the moment, as the two Ferraris have swapped position there. Irvine's back in front of Gordo. Irvine's on the fresher, harder tyres. Gordo's done 2 extra laps at the moment. On board with Vessier once again, who's driving superbly well at the moment. Now, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on Vessier, but at the moment he's my driver of the day. Well, albeit I haven't really got much to back that up with. But Duke's got past Riley into Toza. Great manoeuvre there. And now, unfortunately, Riley is the meat in that half sandwich there, as Duke, who's also trying to recover back through the field as well. There's been a lot of quick drives. He's having very difficult days out there. I apologise to Vessier. I missed, not Vessier, to Reflections. I missed Reflections when I was talking about lack of penalties out there. So I apologise profusely to Reflections there. Serious Russia will see himself out there with that appalling pun. I must admit, I actually quite like that pun there. And I'm going to steal it for next time. As Kia's got a penalty, I'm going to steal it for next time. J. Hings will be flying, which hopefully could be in the next race in Spain, isn't it? Next race, goodness me, I'll probably need to really get the old calendar out before the end of this stream then, as otherwise I'm going to be asking drivers what they're excited about Monaco, which I don't think's on the calendar this year. Nameless then, who is now starting to eat back into the lead with 12 laps to go. Kiki, this will be an important day for Kiki. If Kiki, oh, look at Vessier! Oh, Vessier is through, passes the Red Bull. Oh, and Mr. Ranger Bull had to take evasive action. But Vessier is now into a third position. He's driving superbly well. Look at all the harvesting going on. And this battle, though, has now, oh my word, it's Duke. I thought was going to go for it on the inside. And look at Riley. He is through into Toza. My goodness me, has he got the drive out? No, Duke has got the drive out, of course, coming out of Toza. So, but it's going to be side by side. And Duke there cuts across the Alpine driver and going up to the top of the hill. And goodness gracious me. But and look at this. And as we're on board now, his Reflections there is very much smelling more points. And Duke has got another penalty. We did not see that because he was looking back at his teammate, unfortunately. And Farf is also keen to get past as well on the medium tyres. There's Farfo is under pressure for Kiki. Oh, and Farf and Kian has come to blows. And Farf, oh my goodness gracious me, there's going to be frustration in that Williams car. And there's a Aston Martin scampering off the corner as well. But Farf all the way down into 17th position now. He was making hay, wasn't he, Farf was? But Kian is trying to force his way through. He did get through, but did he get through with But unfortunately, to get it through a bit too much force certainly for Forest's point of view there. But whether the two drivers did not position themselves very well will be down to the stewards. To ninth position, there goes Marsky, but Marsky unfortunately getting a penalty and was caught green-handed there. But here comes Keaton, he's back through, and Keaton's got a lot of good drive there, up into the Vilna chicane. Magnificent driving there from Keaton, and out back into ninth position there. But goodness me, then that was action that Keaton did not want to be a part of. And blimey, O'Reilly says serious specialist. I think that was due to the Riley and Duke battle. And then, but then if you fast forward for about 10 seconds afterwards, we had the Keaton and Farf incident. Justifies in trouble, and unfortunately, that's a lot of damage as well for the RB. As Farf is into the pit, says Farf is going to be quick here. Jay Hings has got penalties, so only Kiki has now got no penalties in the top three. Reflections has no penalties either, which is good something, and same for R2 beat then. So Kiki then, Kiki does have that advantage. Remember last night, remember Toy Coin, he had no penalties. That's of course Toy Coin did go on to win the race as well. It was about accuracy and pace last night. But here comes Nameless. Nameless is so difficult to get out of, and Nameless cuts across Kiki. Goodness gracious me there. Getting through is Marsky's also past Keaton as well, as these two are having a good old scrap there. But look at this, the gap is now to 3 seconds. That's issues there for the RB again. No, the RB is not coming in the pits there. I'm not sure if he's realised he's got no front nose cone, basically. There's a lot of flap missing there from Justifies RB. Out of Toza once again, and Jay Hings as once again, they've all bunched up there. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars in this battle for the Grand Prix lead at the moment now, and this is going to get very good indeed then. I would say that this is kind of probably a bit of a lull in the race, but I must say that it is a lull, but it's still action packed, and I do feel that the next 10 laps is going to be an absolute blockbuster. Hopefully some of you are old enough to remember Blockbuster. If not, I will be feeling very old. But this is going to be a blockbuster ending to what's been a blockbuster Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. 10 laps to go. Marshall got another penalty. That's 2 in quick succession. On board Investor, who's been superb in this. Williams driving superbly well. Driving out of his skin is Vessier. And this is superb stuff indeed there. On board with Vessier then, as Vessier, highest race finish was, of course, second position for Vessier. Then can he get a Grand Prix win here tonight? And a lot of things have got to go Vessier's way, but they have done so far. But Vessier has done it through grit and sheer pace, and Kean is back into ninth position there. As these drivers then are not catching the top 8 at all. Sadly, Reflection's got a penalty as well. We'll take a look at penalties later on in this race. At the moment, we're just concerned about the positions at the moment. But I do feel that this one is going to get very hairy indeed. That as they come at the top of there once again. That's Riley having a snip bed. And look at these cars. Goodness gracious me, they're like attached to each other, aren't they, on the boulder street? Most of that game unraveled then, which I was absolutely rubbish at. The blockbuster. I'll have a pee, please. Bob Tennant says. And Versus got a penalty, and that, and also is Duke as well, unfortunately. Okay, here's a PE question then. Oh dear. Goodness me. You two are bad influence. R2B's got a penalty as well. Everyone's got a penalty out there now, apart from the race leader, Kiki. Vessier, though, is now, I reckon he's going to throw caution to the wind now, Vessier is out. He cannot do anything too silly, though, of course. This is major points for himself and the Williams team. Down into turn 1 there. Oh, my goodness me, Vessier almost onto the grass there, having to stop very quickly. That's incredible, isn't it? What brilliant racing there. And how these drivers have just not come to blows there. More in this race. It remains to be seen. This is one of the most toughest challenges on the calendar this season. And this is absolutely mega stuff indeed. Up the inside. Jay Hings giving him just about a Mercedes cars with nothing more, nothing less. Delando in 15th position. The championship leader. As it stands, Nameless will take the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Nameless, so is he thinking about the championship or is he thinking about the Grand Prix win? I think that Nameless is only thinking about that top step of the podium there. Is Nameless there. But this will still be a great result for Nameless, and whatever happens, of course, if he finishes second or if he wins. Oh, but look, here comes Vessier now, and Nameless there had a bit of a moment into the chicane, and but Vessier there backing out there down into turn 17 or 18 there. Goodness gracious me. White lines are just a suggestion, says Luke. Then can we get a full grid of penalties, please? Come on, Kiki then. Told you P1 was good here, says Serious Russia. It is indeed then, and now Kiki is potentially now starting to stretch his legs ever so slightly, but Nameless has come back at him there. So what about Mr. Rage? Goodness me, going on the outside. Contact between the two cars, and that's, oh my word, and that's the Duke on the outside, and it's Jay Hinks who's dropped down into 6th position now, and now the Duke is up into, no, is he? Yes, he is, he's through, and into 4th position there, passes Mr. Raging Bull, passes Jay Hinks out of Tozer, but Mr. Raging Bull has the race in line, he has the momentum. Will he have the position? He does have the position now, so come over the brow of the hill, great driving. An absolute top-notch racing as well, because they all left each other cars with nothing more, nothing less. Bad news though, they're all out of DRS range of the top 3 now. That means that Mr. Raging Bull is going to be feeling quite vulnerable here, and we've just seen with Kiki and Marsky having an absolutely titanic battle as Reflections has passed at Riley and up into 10th position. Riley dropping down to 8th now, unfortunately for the Alpine now. Now Reflections is almost out of DRS range as well. That's also going to be a horror show. They got to keep in DRS range. I think that's the major point here. Nameless is out of DRS range as well as Kiki has got to out of the DRS range here. And look at this, Marsky is got a 3-second penalty. Nameless in 3rd position. And we've got Riley is back in front of Reflection as well. Oh my gosh, Nameless is trying to come back at him. Oh, I'm swallowing me tongue as we go into the Villeneuve chicane now. Delando up into 14th position. R2B down into 15th at the moment. My word, Kiki's out of DRS. I think it's a crucial part of this race now. If Kiki stays out of DRS, then that is it. I think that Kiki has got 50% of the race done. And well, technically, he's got more than the race done. We've only got 6 laps to go. But hopefully you get the gist of what I'm trying to say there, because Besser needs to really get that gap to under a second there. But he's harvesting, isn't he? Coming up the hill, he's harvesting in that. Well, he's taking that. I've got to say, Besser's so good out of that chicane there. He attacks that chicane very nicely indeed. There, look at it. Then it is flowing around. Then I'm keeping it on it. Look, he's out. I think he out of DRS range before he got to the detection point. I don't know. I just don't know. My word. 17 cars remain out of the 20 that started. Vesser's in DRS range. Kiki's heart is going to sink on that one, because look at this. Look at how much he gains on that DRS. Well, I haven't said that. Kiki has still got quite a decent gap there. Vesser is now up into 2nd position, back on board with the Williams driver. This is a great race for Vesser. He's absolutely standing up in the seat of that Williams car, as Martin Brundle would say. Really good stuff indeed then. Someone told me Junior hasn't practiced for an hour. He might be rusty tomorrow. So just going into the Tozer hairpin. But now, I must say that Kiki, that was a crucial point in this race. And now look at this, because Kiki didn't stay out of DRS range of Vesser on that very important part, that very important lap, 26 out of 32. Now look at what's happened now. Vesser's dragged along Nameless, dragged along Duke, dragged along Mr. Rage, dragged along Jay Hings. Lewis Riley and Reflections have been battling and have dropped out of DRS range. DRS has been a major factor in both races so far, in gold and silver. Jenna practicing in this economy, says Luke then. Goodness me. Now as we come out to the final turn, once again Kiki leads 2nd position and is Vessier in 3rd position, and there is the penalty situation. Vessier's on 6 seconds of penalty. Kiki's going to be quite relaxed then about this. Of course, he doesn't want to lose the lead, but even so, he has still got the advantage. He's the only driver in the field with no penalties. Vessier has taken the lead there, but Kiki then, Kiki knows he does not need to lose his front nose cone on the back of that Williams, because that Williams has got 6 seconds of penalties. Then we got Nameless in 3rd position there on 3 seconds there. So Nameless is still in the boxes, but still has to find 3 seconds over Kiki. Otherwise, Kiki is going to have to get a 3-second penalty. The Duke on 9 seconds of penalty, 18 for Mr. Race. That is going to be monumentally difficult. Now it's 21 seconds there for Mr. Rage. Jay Hings on 3, Reflections great on 3 as well. Riley on 9, Kian on 6, 15 for Marsky. I think that's his points aspirations gone, sadly. Then we got Irvine on 9 seconds, 6 seconds for Gordo, 3 for Mevranov. And then we got RCB on 3, Delando on 6, 15 for Farf. He's probably racing a bit ragey there. And Justify on 70 position on 9 penalties as well. We're keeping on those penalties. Look at this. Vessier leads. Goodness gracious me. It's smart P2 can let Vessier drag him along. No worries, says Serious Rusher. And here comes Kiki. Then Kiki is just going to get past now and past the McLaren. He goes and Kiki retakes the lead. And now look at that. That's Nameless on the outside. Nameless back up in his second position there. Vessier, and sadly has lost 2 positions there. That is the impact of not having DRS then. The gap is down to 6 cars in this battle for the lead. Thank you very much, Smithy. I completely forgot about the drive of the day. With just 3 laps to go in this sprawling Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And that Haas car's a bit dirty, but I think all these cars are dirty. And there's a lot of murk out there at the moment. Kiki, Nameless, Vessier, and Reflections for driver of the day. 5 votes in already. Goodness gracious me. 6 votes in already. I gotta say, I don't really know. Should I vote now or should I vote later? My word. Am I allowed to vote? Yes, I am. I'm a bad man. Kiki, 5 tenths of a second away at the moment. Nameless in second position. There they are. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. And Duke, who's also hungry for that podium as well. I'm going to be honest, I think it is going to be come across the line and then we're going to see who's finished where. What we do know at the moment is as Mehranov is now up, and there's a big lock up there. Mehranov is now up into 11th position. He's done very well on those very old medium tyres. Nameless then is not going to be attacking Kiki too much there, but at the moment Nameless will finish in second position, and that is just what the doctor ordered. If of course if he wants to actually extend his lead in the championship, not extend his lead, take the lead in the drivers championship, as Gordo has got back past Mefranov and up into 12th and 11th positions are respectively at this moment in lap 30 out of 32. What a race has been, and this race has flown by as who's that R2B off the circuit, as Delando up into 14th position. Delando may have a chance of points here with all the penalties going on. Everyone's got a 3-second penalty. R2B recovering. Sadly, though, I think that might have ended R2B's chance of getting points in this one, sadly. Back on board with Nameless at the moment is Mr. Raging Bull, and he's not leaving the Haas alone at the moment. He's not giving Duke's Haas any give whatsoever, is he? Goodness me, that could have been major problems for me, I must say. And look at that, Duke is winning the drag race down the hill. Vessier down into 4th position, but Duke is not going to stop. Oh my word, that he just stops, and I thought he was into the gravel there. Oh my word, and look in that background there. That's I keep saying, look, goodness me. Reflection is back in DRS of Jay Hinton as they're now once again slipstream. And here's Mr. Ball, and Mr. Ball is on the outside of Vessier. Vessier, who was leading the race 1 or 2 laps ago, is now down into 5th position there. My word, this race changes on a heartbeat, doesn't it? It changes on a dime here. And this one there, my goodness me. And to be honest, I've watched the last 2 races here over the past 2 days, and I gotta say, I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow, because let's be honest about it, I am the penalty king. He's all over that Haas. Serious mushroom, absolutely. Yes, I must admit I was getting very dangerously close to missing that H off of that sentence in the end. Pit stops then, everyone in the pits, RTB in the pits, why they're going for that fast as that point now then. That is why they're in the pits, that's why they're throwing on the soft tires. Justify's got penalties as well. These penalties are going to be a major factor, as we've been saying throughout the whole race. And look at this then, and the gap is extended back to 8th position once again. And Kian is now on his own at the moment. Kian is up, but Kian is about to jump up in 1 position, maybe 2 positions actually, because Mr. Radio Bull has 21 seconds of penalties, unfortunately. Kiki with 100% of the votes at the moment, goodness me, and that's with 7, 8, 9 votes as well, goodness gracious me. I think that everyone has said that Kiki has done a major job today, great job today. He has indeed done, he's lost 2 positions, has Kiki, but he doesn't need to worry too much there, because of course Kiki is currently in prime position now with no penalties. And that's a Williams of Farf, but sadly Farf is not in this race. Well, he is in this race, but he's not in the battle for the Grand Prix win, sadly. Nameless Delando is currently on course for second position. Will take the lead in the Drivers' Championship, will Nameless. And that, of course, is important with his two championship rivals, Kian and Delando having a horror show. Delando, I think it's going to be a stretch for Delando to get points, unfortunately, today. On board with Nameless, Mr. Raging Bull is all over the back of Kiki. Here is Mr. Raging Bull now, 21 seconds worth of penalties for Mr. Raging Bull. I feel that Mr. Raging Bull might get a point or two, but that's about it. That's a lot of penalties, unfortunately, for Mr. Raging Bull. Yellow flag for one of the Ferraris. I think that's Irvine having issues there, slightly at the back of the field. And Kiki has dropped off the pace here. Quite, as look, Duke's going for it, and then Duke decides that no dice. And out of the final turn then, and Kiki is going to win the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Kiki wins his second Grand Prix of his career. What a drive from Kiki. Of course, Kiki has been so good at qualifying, hasn't he? But today he showed his race. There's a whole bit of banging going on. But in today's race, Kiki showed he can also do it in the race as well. Kiki, his second Grand Prix win of his career in ALR. And is this now the start of his championship campaign then? Round 6 of the Silver Championship. Nameless finishes second, and also I think, if I got me math correct then, which is a big stretch then, will take the lead in the championship with Kian only in 7th position. Delando not scoring. That's a major blow for Delando. We do not see what happened at the Villeneuve chicane, but that's where it all came a cropper. GG Kiki at last. Penalties for the old stat book, says Stephen there. Luckily, I'm not going to record the penalties here, otherwise I'll be here all night then. But Kiki is also going to be here all night as well, I feel, because he's going to be spraying that bubbly, I think, and even though it is a Monday night, but I'm sure that Kiki ain't going to mind that. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. And as Sirius said, told you Kiki was fast last Friday, and he certainly is in his second Grand Prix win of his career in silver. And as Kiki announced himself in the championship fight then, I think he was in the championship fight anyway, but certainly, oh dear, Vesher, what's happened to you? But certainly now, that is going to cause cold shudders down Kian, down Delando, down Nameless, and everyone else there. Goodness gracious me. Let's take a final look at the classification from Super Kiki as well. Fantastic stuff indeed there. He was Superman today. Let's take a final look at the classification then from the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I can't beat 21 seconds, absolutely. Kiki, second win of his career in silver. Nameless takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Jay Hings in third position. Great drive from Jay Hings. Reflections after a horror show season so far for Reflections. His first points on the board in fourth position. Vestier looked absolutely stunning in that race. Fifth position in the end. I think the Vestier will be satisfied with that potentially. If it was for Kiki's solid drive, could have been drive of the day. Duke in sixth. Kian in seventh, recovering after a horror show race. That's good stuff there. We could be looking back on this race as potentially one the race that won or lost Key in the championship. Riley in 8th position. Meshronaf also recovering to 9th after that start line horror show. Goro in 10th position there. Outside the points is Mr. Raging Bull along with Delando, Marsky, Irvine. R2B gets past that. Fourth down in the 60th position. Justify in 70th position. Retirements, Flippy, Nigel and Liam all out of this incredible Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And I do have some guests in the commentary booth as well. Let me get me thingy-majig up. Rightio then. I think I've got more than... I've got 3 guests. Goodness gracious me then. That's absolutely fantastic. Let's start off with the Grand Prix winner. Let's start off with Kiki. Kiki, that is an incredible Grand Prix win today. We've always said qualifying has been certainly your strength, but today you've showed it in the race as well. Are you happy?
I am happy now, I had no warnings until lap 29:30, and then I got 2 straight away. And I just had to calm it down a bit because Nameless had penalties and everyone else had penalties behind me, so I just slowed right down.
That's pretty impressive not to have any penalties up until the final couple of laps then. And how difficult was that race to manage then? Because you probably looked behind you and you said a whole train of cars. I bet you felt like truly, didn't you? How difficult was it to understand who you was racing and who was going to be a major factor in this race?
I think Nameless was my closest rival. I know he had 3 seconds, but we were just going back and forth, first to second, first to second. And obviously if I got a penalty at the end, he would have won it.
And how much pressure was that to take then, knowing that one slip, especially around a circuit like this? How difficult was it to concentrate in those final few laps? And I bet you were sweating, wasn't you?
I am sweating because that was a sweaty race for me, to be honest. My first win this season. Hopefully I can get more, but these guys are quick, man.
They certainly are then. And of course, we had a safety car earlier on in this race then. With the safety car coming out around lap 10 then, it was a no-brainer, wasn't it, to come to the pits? Was you concerned, though, of anyone potentially going long, or did you know everyone's strategy in that race?
Well, I think most of us were mediums, except from like two people. So obviously I knew all the medium people were going to pit for hards, and I was going to pit that lap anyway. So
And and at the start, then of course, two of your rivals taking each other out at the start. Then with Flippy and Methron having issues. Then, what did you make of the start?
well, I got a good launch. I was using my ERS to get in middle both of them, and I got squeezed between both of them, and then I don't know what happened after that.
And of course, you said this is your first win of the season, then, and potentially open wanting more. Then, um, do you feel then that this win will catapult you now back in the title hunt? Then, is this now going to be starting to become more of a momentum cycle in the next couple of races? Then we've only got 10 to go.
Nah, I'm racing with too many gold drivers in this league.
Uh, but brilliant stuff indeed then. And what about the next race? I think we're in Spain then next week. I haven't checked the calendar. It's a completely different circuit compared to this one then. Do you think you can get two wins out of two?
No, I don't like Spain. Might let Beast take over my controller, let him do it. He likes Spain.
You're very honest. Well done, Stakey. Great drive indeed to your second Grand Prix win. Nameless, if my maths is correct, I think you've taken the lead in the championship. But towards the end, then, how difficult was it to keep your nose clean? Because I must say that crocodile of 8 or 9 cars towards the end then was looking very dicey.
Yes, it was very, very stressful. I think I lost about 10 years of my life there just in this race because I didn't have the pace today, to be honest. I was just so quick on the straights, and I just tried to be in either P1 or P2 during the whole race. I think we did it quite well with Kiki breaking the race, I think 2 times even. But yeah, with the Williams coming on of Vessier, it was very, very stressful. And in the end, I think a Haas was behind me. Obviously with the penalty, and I knew everyone else had penalties as well except for Kiki. Yeah, I knew I just had to keep it clean. Try to put the pressure on him to pressure him into some mistakes and warnings, but I mean, he drove a great race and won deservedly. I think he was the only one without a penalty.
He certainly was. It was absolutely superb stuff indeed. I forgot to mention that. Brilliant stuff indeed. But you said it's taken 10 years off your life. Hopefully that's not the case. But my word, you was with other drivers coming into the factor as well, like Vessier is not really in the championship fight then. Kiki has not really put himself in the championship fight either. Do you feel then that when you're racing against other drivers that really going just more for this Grand Prix win rather than thinking about the championship, how concerned or how cautious do you have to be, like with Vessier throwing it in the inside of turn one, or potentially Kiki also throwing it on the inside view into turn one? Did you feel that I cannot damage my car here?
Yes, especially here because you have corner after corner after corner, and damage is crucial. Like not to get damage here is crucial for the lap time, and also because I think Kian was a bit unlucky in the start. He got 10 seconds, and I think Delano had a spin. I saw it in the mirrors after the safety car restart, so I knew my P1 and P2 in the standings were behind me. So of course I wanted to win, but I was just trying to keep it clean.
But it's very difficult and to like as much as you want to win the race, trying to just have a measured approach. Then, and yes, I think my maths is right. You have taken the lead in the championship. So in the last couple of races, you've gone from the hunter, and now you're the hunted. Then as you go on to Spain, of course, they used to keep asking Nico Rosberg about changing his approach and maybe going race after race after race. How are you going to do this going forward? Then are you just going to be looking at it race by race, or are you just thinking this race is good for me, this race is not good for me? How are you going to do it now going forward?
Yeah, I just look at it race by race. In the beginning of the season, I put quite a lot of pressure on myself, and especially in Australia, I did a mistake and took a reserve out, and yeah, I didn't get any points from there. Then from China, I put pressure on myself because I had 0 points in the first race, and that was horrible. And after that, I didn't put pressure on myself for Japan, and I won. So I will just look at it race by race and don't look at the standings, but obviously knowing my two championship rivals were behind me, I knew I had to take it cautious.
Really well done today, Nameless. Brilliant job indeed to get second today in what was a very tough race. And then we're going to come to Jay Hings, then, who very similar to Nameless, only one penalty to this his account then in the end. Then. And Jay Hings, goodness gracious me, I was saying how difficult it was for Kiki and Nameless then to be fighting at the front of that train. You was at the heart of that train for all the race then. That was a very long 32 laps, I bet.
Yeah, it's very difficult because you're fighting people that you can't see at some points. Like, I'm trying to keep a track on what penalties to stop. Bevezier's got, for example, because that's who I'm actually racing. But Bevezier's 2 free cards ahead of me. So I'm worrying about Bevezier. I'm worrying about if someone behind me hasn't got penalties. I'm trying to keep an eye on that as well as keep it on the track yourself without getting penalties is very difficult.
I'm going to put you in the same boat as Nameless, I think, because at the moment you've started off. Nameless has had a lot of pace, but you've been very consistent in the opening 5 or 6 rounds in this championship, and just getting points after points after points. Then, and again, it's the lack of penalties is really becoming your major strength. Then, I would say you're in this championship fight. Then, would you agree with that? And if so, how are you going to approach these races then? And in this race as well, actually, there's like 3 questions in one. And in this race as well, how very similar to Nameless, how difficult is it not to lose your front wing on on all these drivers around you?
I think at the start of the race, I was going to it because my teammate's just ahead of me. That I was going to try and work with him, and then we worked together, try and get through together. Unfortunately, I had the 10 seconds, and then had really unlucky time with the safety car. The approach is just work with my teammate when we're both up there, and get us both up there as high as we can. And then, obviously, by doing that, we help each other out. And it's kind of a bit safer when you're by your teammate. You take it a bit easier, and that then will help with not ruining your front wing. But I think for the most part, it's just if you think you're losing a battle, you give it up early at Imola, because if you're going into like a 50-50 corner, there's a great chance you spin or get knocked into the gravel because it is an old school circuit. So I think just minimising the risk and then minimising the mistakes, and then you get rewarded.
And the safety car came out around lap 10 then. What do you feel that safety car kind of helped you, or did it really kind of nullify the race then for the second half?
I think it's a bit of both, but I think it made it very boring strategy-wise. My original plan was to go a bit longer because I couldn't make overtakes in the train. I found it very, very difficult. Even though I thought I had fairly low wings, it was just very difficult to make overtakes. So I was going to go a bit longer, try and get a bit fresher tyres, but then safety car comes out and there's only one option from there, which is everyone just going hard.
And as mentioned on the opening couple of races, you've been very consistent. Then, do you what's been your major thing you need to improve on for the opening couple of races? Then, or do you feel that so far this championship has been absolutely perfect and you've maximised all your opportunities?
I think the race pace has been definitely good enough because the main thing you want to do in this game is stay in the train and stay in with a fight of it. But I think I've qualified a bit too low sometimes, kind of towards the ninth, 8th sector, where I want to be like 5th, where I'm normally aiming for qualifying. Because I feel like if I qualify 5th, I can control it a bit more and hopefully not break the train and stay there in the end and then try and pick up any pieces that come along the way.
Really good stuff. Well done, Jay Hings. Brilliant drive to third position with Nameless finishing second and Kiki getting his second Grand Prix win of his career in silver. Serious question. If I lost 10 years, I'll be dust. Well, I'm not arguing with that. Right, that is going to be it then for silver and for me this week. As tomorrow, I'm going to probably be in a very similar boat to all these drivers. I'm going to be sweaty, but I probably wouldn't have done 10 laps. I probably would have only done 1 or 2. But that is bronze tomorrow. Knowles is going to take you through bronze, and currently the state of play in bronze at the moment is that it's got a 20-point lead for Luke against Dan at the moment. That's at the top of the table. Kick Sauer have also got a 51-point lead. After that, the only team to get a 1-2 so far in this championship. It's been pretty good, but the two Dans are hot on Luke's heel. And of course, you cannot discount out the Mushroom, who's 40 points back as well. And quick shout out to Ginger Rage, 22 points. Fantastic stuff indeed then. That is it then for tonight then. We'll be back in action for bronze tomorrow night. Goodbye.